So I was just watching the Gears of War Las Vegas opening. I had a thought. Gears of War 4 is succeeding where Halo 5 is failing. Gears of War is starting to become the Xbox flagship shooter. It's very obvious to see that they're doing a lot right where Halo has failed. And that's sad to say for me, even though I do like Gears of War a lot. Halo is not doing exactly what it needs to do. So like, here's just a few thoughts I had. So number one for me would be like, the game hasn't changed too much fundamentally. If you brought a Gears of War fan from the first game, brought him to the future, told him to play Gears of War 4, he probably wouldn't have a problem because the game hasn't changed too much. Halo 5, the first thought they'd probably have is, what the fuck, why is there sprinting? And then, holy hell, that dude is flying, using thrusters. The game has changed way too much. It's not really Halo anymore. It's like something else, which kind of sucks. Here's another big issue I have. There's no map voting in Halo 5. How does Halo 5 seriously not have map voting? Yes, I know maps usually get tested to perfection, quote unquote, but come on, Overgrown over and over again in the playlist is horrendous. I absolutely hate Overgrown, and that sucks. I don't care if it plays perfectly, but it's too small corners, very close quarters for the fast-paced game that they're wanting. I mean, come on, Halo 3, Halo Reach, even Halo 4 had map voting. Gears allows for 3 maps to be voted on. It's great. It's easy. Mind-blowing. I know, right? So then you come into something that Halo does, sort of, and that's free-ish DLC. They can, with Gears of War, they consistently release DLC maps and a couple skins here and there. But think about that. A couple skins. Halo, on the other hand, it just seems like they're always releasing skins. A lot of us don't really care about skins. Like, I have my Optic one and my HCS one, and that's all I care about, honestly. They need to add more maps to the game, more playable maps. Stuff that is in contention with the competitive rule set, honestly. Don't make the game too heavily on the competitive aspect, but at the same time, you've got to make the game somewhat competitive for casuals. Gears of War does that perfectly. The maps play really well. I like security. It's not the most pro map, but it is a fun map to play. Hell, I think the first time I've ever seen a DLC map in a competitive setting is actually Diner from Gears of War. Yeah, and they're also always updating their game modes. With tomorrow, hopefully when this comes out, the Horde mode, the most casual mode that this game has, is coming out with a huge update. There's too much. I don't really understand Horde too much, but yeah, they're just changing it up completely. When they do release skins and packs, I will say Gears of War does something great. They put money into esports. Like, I mean, Halo did do this with the Halo World Championships, but that was season 1. The price, it went up to like, what, 3 million, I want to say, and a couple team skins, which also, besides the initial 3, took like 4 or 5 months, it seemed like, to get the other teams in there, which was stupid. With Gears of War, they just released them, I think, tournament number 1, which is great. So all that money goes into the teams, and then with the esports packs, and if you keep buying like the normal packs, it goes into offsetting teams, or teams travel costs, huge prize pools. So yeah, like Splice, they're from Puerto Rico and Latin America. There's no way that them or Vitality from France would be able to travel multiple events to Europe or North America. Even if it's North America for Splice, it's still very expensive. But the Gears of War team over at Coalition, they put the money into esports because they know that's where a lot of money is. Speaking of esports, MLG runs a fantastic event. I have yet to be able to go to one live, but just watching it and just seeing everybody's reactions on Twitter and Twitch is incredible. I love the open events. I liked watching Mind Free, even though they got blown out. It was great to see them go through pool play. If you want to go see some like pretty interesting stuff with the open guys, go watch Hitch's vlogs because those boys get lit. It's the amateur teams are hilarious to watch. There's so much. I think Gears of War is going the way of the Xbox's flagship shooter. Don't really care too much as long as they keep making Halo games, but I will say Gears of War is doing a lot more right, where Halo's there was just complaining. They just fixed heavy aim. How many months did we ask heavy aim to be fixed? And Gears of War constantly updates the weapons to make sure the game is as balanced as possible. I don't know. Gears of War and the Coalition are doing something right. It's not a perfect game, no, but they're trying to make it as fun for everybody as they can.